All right, welcome to everyone. I think we have everyone from the waiting room into our session. This is our first session, the introduction and welcome to our Native American Days 2025. This is our sixth annual Native American Days, and I know some of you have been here before. So we really appreciate you signing up again. And this year we've got about 900 students who will be watching. And we would appreciate if you'll share with your colleagues. It's okay, even if you know people who might just like to watch the recordings, they would still need to register with the Shiloh Museum, but we'll be happy to share those links. So the Native American Days, this is during Native American Month, and it's a partnership with the Shiloh Museum of Ozark History and the Arkansas Archaeological Survey. I have with me Dr. Michelle Rathgaber and Kim Hosey from the Shiloh Museum. They will be talking to you in just a minute. Um, Teachers, this is for you. You know that you've been given two Zoom links for each day. I will be your host on the sessions which start on the hour, like this one, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And Kim will be your host on the sessions that start on the half hour. Students, that allows us to get the presenters in ready to make sure they have all their presentations ready for you. All the technology is working. It gives your teachers a little bit of time to, well, I think it makes your teachers have to work to switch back and forth between the Zoom sessions. And we will be recording most of the sessions so that because one reason we have a lot of information to share, and you might not get it all the first time, and you might want to rewatch. You might want to use some for research, and maybe you have to go to lunch or take a break, and you want to still watch a session that you missed. So those should be available hopefully by Friday, if not before, and we'll be sending a link to all you teachers. Today we have several professionals ready to present to you. They wish that they could be there in person and you could actually touch the things that the artifacts that they're going to show you. But, you know, in some ways it's even better because if you're in the back of the room and they hold something up to the screen, you can see it all zoomed in and real close. So we have professors at universities. We have archaeologists who are scientists who study people from the past. We have actual members of tribal nations, park interpreters, artists, historians. So we have a big list of people for you to hear from. And Dr. Michelle Rathgaber did all the organizing of the scheduling. So thank you to her for doing that. It's a lot of work to get all these people rounded up and their busy schedules coordinated so that they can present. With that being said, we do have a few changes from our original slate of presenters. I believe teachers that all the changes are reflected in the email that you got on Monday. Um, so I think that is all that I have to say, and I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Rathgaber.
Hello. I am Michelle Rathgaber. I'm an archaeologist. I work for the Arkansas Archaeological Survey. And we are a statewide organization that employs a bunch of archaeologists all over the state at different places. So I have this little map, and you can find us if you search online Arkansas Archaeological Survey. But we have archaeologists, professional archaeologists at different research stations, at different universities and state parks all across the state of Arkansas, so that kind of everyone has a local archaeologist. If you want to know about archaeological sites or artifacts that you've found in different regions, because I can see you are from some different regions of the state. And you can get all of their contact information on our website. Um, And a lot of them are going to present today. So it's a cool partnership, this program, because we have all of these archaeologists who do this different research in different regions of the state and on different time periods throughout Arkansas history. And we bring them in to do short presentations so you can get an idea of some of the things that we know about Arkansas's past. And if you're not sure exactly what archaeology is, it's the study of the human past. And we do that by looking at the stuff, the artifacts that people made and left behind. So tools, cooking vessels, evidence of hunting, of people's houses, all kinds of different ways and things that people made and used through history. Um, and so people will be talking about that. And I think tomorrow at the end of the day, I have a little summary presentation about how we know all of this stuff, how we can go from an artifact to a story about how people lived at different time periods to kind of wrap everything up. And so if you have any questions at that point about anything that archaeologists said that you didn't quite understand how they got from one place to the next, that would be a good place to ask questions about those kinds of things. Um, and then I'm really excited as well because, like Miss Judy said, we have native artists doing different kinds of pottery and weaving and crafting that they have passed down through their nations for generations. So it's very cool to get to hear them talk about things that they are still doing in their cultures that we can see archaeological evidence of in the past, and then they can tell us about how those things actually kind of work still in the present. And we've got also people that are part of their own nation's tribal historic preservation offices. So they do a lot of archaeology within their own nation, and they work with archaeologists from all over to keep the history of their different nations. And so it's always exciting to hear their perspectives on things as well about their cultural histories and how they lived when they were in Arkansas and how they live now today. And again, state park interpreters, we have archaeologists who work at some state parks, and then we have just really well-trained park interpreters in Arkansas who know a lot about the archaeology at their state park. So it's always exciting to get to hear presentations about the different state parks that we have in Arkansas, so you can go and visit those parks as well. And then historians who've looked at all of the different records and things that we have about Arkansas and the past of Arkansas, and learning about how all of these different ways of learning about the past kind of work together to give us a really good idea of how these things work. So I am always really excited about this program because some of the presenters have been presenting for multiple years, but I learn new things every year in their sessions. And I know a couple of them have changed their presentation topic a little bit this year, so I'm excited to hear those. And we've got some new presenters as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. And like Miss Judy said, again, most of these will be recorded. And because the survey has people, like I said, all over the state, if you want an archaeologist to come in person to your classroom or do a presentation about a particular topic, you can reach out to me at kind of any time of the year, and we can put together different presentations in that way as well. But of course, these presentations will be available to you as well. So I think that's about all I have. If there's any questions, or otherwise I'll pass it along to Miss Kim.
Thank you. All right, y'all. So like Miss Judy said, my name is Kim Hosey. I'm also with the Shiloh Museum in Springdale, Arkansas, and I'm going to be one of your session hosts today. I'm going to be hosting the sessions on the 30-minute mark. And Corey Williams, who is the program manager here at the Shiloh Museum, is also going to be one of our hosts for this two-day event. And she's going to be helping to host sessions tomorrow on the 30-minute mark. So you'll be seeing Corey Williams around tomorrow, and you'll be seeing me around today, as well as Judy and Dr. Michelle. But just as a reminder, again, about our two different Zoom links today and our two different Zoom links for tomorrow. Just to echo what Miss Judy said earlier, so instead of having 12 or 11 different individual Zoom links that we send out to you guys on each day of our event, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to access our sessions, just as a reminder, we have two Zoom links for today. One of them is going to be, or both are all-day Zoom links. One is going to be the Zoom link that you access for all sessions that start on the hour mark. And then the second Zoom link for today is going to be the a link that you access for all sessions that start on the 30-minute mark. So for example, our first guest presenter of the day is going to start at 9:30 today. Miss Tanya Weevil is going to be talking about the history of Cherokee clothing. And so her session is going to start at 9:30 on our second Zoom link for today. And just as a reminder, it's going to be the same thing for tomorrow's sessions. You will have 2 different links for tomorrow compared to the 2 links that you had for today. For tomorrow, it's going to be one all-day Zoom link for sessions that start on the hour and one all-day Zoom link for sessions that start on the 30-minute mark. So we just wanted to also say, if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to email Miss Judy. She just put her email in the chat a little bit ago, or feel free to type any questions about that in the Zoom chat. Also, I'm going to share the Shiloh Museum's Native American Days webpage. Oh, and I see that Dr. Michelle put her email in the chat as well. But I did also just share our Shiloh Museum Native American Days webpage, which, as Ms. Judy mentioned earlier, has all of our updated sessions and presenters for our 2-day event this year. So if you have any questions about any of the changes in our schedule, feel free to take a look at Ms. Judy's email that she sent you earlier this week, or feel free to take a look at our webpage at any time. But I think that's all I have.
All right, thank you both. I'm going to jump back in and tell you how each session will work. We will be starting on the hour or on the half hour. And each session can last 30 minutes. We try to keep them to 25 minutes because that gives you a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of time to move over to the next session. But yeah, so each one can last for 30 minutes. And we try to ask the presenters to present for 20 to 25 minutes and leave about 5 minutes for questions. So we ask you to put your questions during each session. As soon as you come up with them, put them into the chat. You do not have to wait until the end to put your questions in the chat. There are a few presenters who prefer to stay on their script and answer all the questions at the end. There are some presenters who have 2 monitors, and so they can keep an eye on the chat while they are presenting. So they can multitask, and they may answer questions as they go. So feel free to put your questions in at any time, and when they can get to them, we will get to as many questions as we can. With that, I'm going to ask if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the chat. Teachers, remember this session is recorded and other classes can see the chat. So we ask that you not add any names, especially last names, to the chat to keep everyone's privacy intact. Let me think. And when you, so while we are preparing for a session, you will be in the waiting room. Sometimes when I'm with it, I will send a message and say, I will try to send a message and say to the waiting room, you are in the waiting room for the session that starts at 10 o'clock, which is 18th century truckers. I will try to do that so that you know you are in the right place. Sometimes we know, and then right at 10 o'clock, I will admit the waiting room. Sometimes we know that either your internet goes out or maybe you got really involved in the last session and had a lot of questions and you didn't get into the waiting room before 10 o'clock, say, and you come in a few minutes late. So Ms. Kim and I, our job is to be watching while the presenters are talking and see if anybody comes into the waiting room late, and we admit you. So sometimes, like now, sometimes I'm a little slow. especially if I'm talking, but we admit you as soon as we see you in the waiting room. Any other detailed questions on how it's working on our end, Miss Kim?
Not that I can think of. Thank you.
Okay, I think hopefully I didn't just muddle that. I explained it so in a way that you can know what we're doing in the background. Um, I do not see any questions in the chat. Does anybody have any questions about archaeology or any of the presenters before we get started? I don't think Ms. Kim and I have talked about it, and we're not going to give you real in-depth introductions of our presenters, even though we're really proud of them. You know, some of them have PhDs, and some of them have been doing art or studying history for many, many years. They have all kinds of awards. You guys are really lucky to have this many great presenters all together in these 2 days. But Ms. Kim and I have decided we want the presenters to get to do the talking and tell you all the information they have. So we're going to give you very brief introductions, just tell you who it is and what the session is. That website that Ms. Kim put into the chat, you can see a little bit more about the presenters, see their bios, and know all the things that some of the things they've done. Some of them are very humble, and it's hard to drag them to out to tell us about the work that they do. But just know there's a lot of work, a lot of honors and things that these people have earned. So okay. I don't see any questions. So our next session starts at 9:30. So I know Ms. Kim will be getting ready with her presenter. Do you want to tell us just a little bit about our first presenter that's coming up, Ms. Kim, about Tanya?
Yeah, and so Miss Tanya has presented for Native American Days multiple years for multiple years now. So we're really excited to have her back for this year's event. But yeah, she's going to be highlighting the history of Cherokee clothing.
All right, so that will be the next session. It will start at 9:30. So you've got a few minutes to take a water break, take a bathroom break, stand up, do a little exercising, move your legs, whatever your teacher lets you do. And we will see you, or Miss Kim will see you um, at 9:30, and I will see you at 10 o'clock. All right, thank you all. Bye.